I have heard all power belongs to you alone. And when you have spoken, it surely comes to pass. All power belongs to you alone. Belongs And he said,
entrepreneur would. So you give yourself to the company releases their own resources and then allow you to run the business like you would if you owned it. Right. Like you would, not like every other employee. Every other employee they will work small and give report at the end of the day or at the end of the week. Employees are not allowed to take risk. Employees are not allowed to run off on their own. Employees are not allowed to a lot of checks or controls that normal employees have that you do not put on an entrepreneur, because they are meant to run it like it is their own company. Entrepreneurs usually have the resources and capabilities of the company at their disposal. An entrepreneur is an inside entrepreneur or an entrepreneur within a large company who uses entrepreneurial skills without incurring the risk associated with those activities. I'm sure we still remember our Bible passage very well. Laban owns all the sheep. He owns the flock. Right. But when they die, they don't say the speckled ones, Jacob is your own. Praise God. They only get to share when what? When they survive, when they live. Who feeds them? Jacob. Who owns the feed? Laban. Praise God. So Laban is that guy that has the field, that has the flock, that has the mowers and the mowing machines and everything. He has, what do they call it? The baiting center for the sheep. He has everything. All Jacob has is himself and his brain and God. Right. And then he comes and say, when they have speckles, I own them. When they are clean, you own them. If they die, it's your problem. But when they live, I take my share. Praise God. So, and entrepreneurs don't take risk. They take risk, actually, but only on behalf of the company. They don't share from the losses. They share from the gains. They are also entrepreneurs because they do not share the typical employer-employee relationship with their bosses. Instead, they operate just as collaborators and are treated as visionaries in the organization. Remember, they are collaborators. They are partners. Okay, I think we'll come to that when we are doing such activities. Who is a Christian entrepreneur? A Christian entrepreneur is therefore a self-motivated, proactive, and result-oriented believer who takes the initiative to pursue an innovative product or service within the organization, manifesting the characteristics or the characters of Christ. Right. The original word.
What of a pastor working in a mission to start his own mission? Is that?
Yes, actually, I think that's actually very, very valid. God called pastors into ministry, but he didn't call them to start churches. So most of them attach themselves to an existing ministry to answer their calling. Praise God. So they have their own ministry, but they are running that ministry as a sub of another ministry without changing the name of the ministry. I think it makes sense. So yes. Some of us become pastors because we were workers, and then they say go and do SOD, and then we do SOD, and then they say, oh God, step up now, go and do Bible school. We do Bible school. All right. So we said a Christian entrepreneur is that person who manifests the characters of Christ. If you remember the first time Christians were named Christian, they said they do what? They behave as if they are Christ. They behave like they have been with Christ. They exhibit the characters of Christ. So generally I would say a Christian is anybody who exhibits the characters of Christ. They live like Christ would. They speak like Christ would. Right. So a Christian entrepreneur or a Christian entrepreneur is that person who does his due diligence, who does his job, who does his work, who runs his business, and yet keeps focus on what Christ would have done if he were to be in their shoes. All right. What is the difference between an entrepreneur and intrapreneur? An entrepreneur differs from an intrapreneur in that an entrepreneur enters a venture through a startup model of business and tries to establish it. This is done while taking the risk of bringing together the factors of production to address a cost and making a profit out of it at the same time. It puts together the factors of production. Entrepreneur. While an entrepreneur works within an existing organization to pursue exploitation of business opportunities, probably because the entrepreneur does not have the required business capital, infrastructure, or clear direction. So while one goes through the stress of putting together the factors of production, the other one never has to. Because he has found an existing structure, an existing organization that runs perfectly or bodes well with his ideas or his vision. Characteristics and benefits of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are self-motivated, they are proactive, they are result-oriented people who take the initiative to pursue an innovative